Welcome everyone. I know the training vlogs have been non-existent for a while. I think I posted maybe 1 or 3 workouts from like the fall GPP phase, and then just between work, places to lift, trying to find time to record, it just didn't exist. So right now this is the Christmas holiday break for me, so I have now this whole week and a half off, maybe 2 weeks. I'd have to look at my schedule when my teams come back, of not having to go in, so I'm going to be lifting more in the garage. Plan on doing a little bit more recording for you guys and kind of show you the new training phase we're on now. So we ran through the whole 8 weeks of that fall GPP program, and now we're on a 8 to 12 week hypertrophy focus. So with that, volume is going to be up. We're using some different protocols and methods in our training to try to get a better stimulus for these hypertrophy gains. We're also kind of focusing on simplifying my Olympic movements, going from some technical stuff we did during the GPP phase and now making more complexes out of that. So now instead of just maybe hitting hip cleans or some positional work, we're kind of tying it all together from like a hip clean to a hang clean, looking at some different aspects of that, of how we can kind of clean up areas I suck at to make sure that this movement keeps getting better and better. But for today, you guys will see the force plate jumps that we did. I'm not sure if I hit a lifetime PR, but I was well above my average, at least on the set I have here. We hit an 11.99, which I think for me, a 12.1 or a 12.2 might be my best, but jump heights going up. I think my favorite part was actually seeing the system weight on that significantly down. So we still have dropped a lot of weight from the summertime and still have been able to keep that off. I'm gonna go through an ankle complex with you guys. This is something I saw from Justin King posted on his Instagram, and I really like the setup of kind of how it warms up, mobilizes, and preps your ankle for any kind of dorsiflexion you need. So today's back squats, we've basically eliminated the need for a squat wedge. So now we're just in our lifters. Squats are feeling good, they're looking good, so that's awesome. So we're gonna be adding this complex in today. We're gonna go through our normal breathing, bracing patterns. I really have enjoyed these on making sure that I'm using my diaphragm, I'm bracing the right way, really trying to eliminate any issues through that lower back that we've had in the past. Some basic movement, mobility drills, and then we'll dive into this lift. So I'll chop this up a little bit, kind of show you some different things of this ankle complex. Probably not so much of the dynamic warm-up, you guys have seen a bunch of that. And then we'll dive into the lift and then see how I want to edit this up and kind of bring this out. The idea is for the next week, 2 weeks, depending on how much time I have off, every day I train, kind of video it for you guys, and then post it the same day. Just kind of holding myself a little bit of accountable, so that way there'll be some consistent videos up on the channel. So enjoy today's training, guys. I'm gonna kind of hop into this ankle complex, get into the 90/90s, and then I'll decide what I want to film, chop it up for you guys, and give you some explanation along the way. First one we got here is some band inversion and eversion. I will definitely say doing these, the stretch in the calf can definitely find some areas that are super tight as we're going through this. So definitely finding areas that are junky. And need work. Next, what we're gonna do, we're gonna be straight leg, pulling down and pushing. So basically think of it like a calf raise. Straight leg here is gonna be more of a gastroc focus. Trying to keep the band right like on the ball of my foot. I would probably want it a little bit higher, but I feel like it's gonna possibly fall off and snap me in the face. So we're gonna keep it here. Then we're gonna bend our leg. Same thing, but now we're thinking more soleus. Last one we got is just some tib raises. And that's gonna be our ankle complex, kind of warming up, making sure we're going through this. For this phase of our hypertrophy training, our A block is going to be a clean complex. We're gonna have 2 hip cleans into 2 hang cleans. The idea here is using the hip clean to understand, knowing that position. I wanna finish the clean in, staying tall, vertical chest, then diving into that good hinge position, rotating back up, getting back into that hip position as we go through. We've got a drop jump to where we are going to be landing on the balls of our feet. So we're going to have about like a half an inch to maybe an inch of our heels off the ground. Thinking about landing more in an athletic position, heels off the ground. Also using this to strengthen our feet at the same time. And then there's going to be a T-spine mobility in it, just kind of helping out with getting into a better front rack position. So we'll go through this first warm-up set. After the warm-up set, we'll kind of talk about some stuff. And then I'll kind of just give you some highlights going forward of just kind of this training for this A block. So that was our first warm-up set. Second warm-up set, we're going, I think it's like 140, and then 155 is our working set for this clean complex. Previous 2 weeks, we were at like a 12-inch drop on this. Probably should stick to more like a 16, but the 20 doesn't feel too bad. It's a little awkward when you're stepping off and then think about just landing on the balls of those feet, keeping those heels up. But after diving into one of Christian Thibodeau's courses, it's a progression for his of then kind of being more heels elevated, more balls of the feet, more of an athletic position, and then also emphasizing some strengthening of the bottom foot. It's very similar to kind of like a spring ankle, but now we're adding some more like impulse to it of kind of dropping and then having to catch ourselves. I'm not against them. I like them. It's definitely an interesting take on kind of like a drop jump that I've never thought about doing with myself or my athletes before. So we're going to see how it goes. This is week 3, so it's been going. Nothing catastrophic has happened. I can't tell you this has definitely been a benefit or not, even though today's been some of my best jumps on the force plate, so could have something to do with it, but there's a lot of X factors of past training we're doing now, body weight to why our jump height's going up. Not going to film for you guys second warm-up. After our warm-up, we're just going to overlay some music and just kind of give you a little B-roll of the training that we're going through right now and giving you some clips of each one of the sets as we're going through. Then we'll dive into our back squats and we'll explain the methodology we're using for our reps and sets for the back squat. So that's A block. We're gonna move on to our back squats next. So for this hypertrophy phase, I've been playing around with drop sets. So we had week 1, week 2, 3 sets, a set of 8 with a 2-second eccentric. As soon as you got done the 8, rack the bar. We stripped it down to 50%. Under it, set of 6, 2-second eccentric. So that's your first set. So basically we're doing 8. I think it was, we might have started off at like 68%, moved to 70% or 70, 72%. I'll let you know once I look at the sheet. And then 50% for the drop set, right? So first set 8, some higher volume, a decent intensity. You're gonna get fatigued. Then you're gonna lower the intensity to try to just get more, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh God, metabolic damage on the tissue, just with some more volume at a lighter load. This week is week 3. So we're keeping intensity the same from week 2, and we're gonna add another set now, right? So volume is definitely gonna skyrocket because we're adding a whole nother set of 8, a whole nother set of 6 into these, really just trying to put some more volume on these legs. At first, I thought it was gonna be a little bit too much. Week 1, I was sore. Week 2 felt good, so I'm curious to see how this week goes. But in terms of like programming the volume, intensity, and just adding that time under tension, mainly just for like control. It's not just dropping to the bottom, using that short stretching cycle to bounce back up. You're able to control down, control back up, and make sure we're hitting those good full range of motions. It was honestly perfect. I'm really curious to see how set 4 feels on this week. I'm gonna warm up, get to my warm-up sets. Once I get done my warm-up sets, I'll bring you guys back, let you guys watch a couple sets of this. There's nothing supersetted with this. We're just hitting our squats, resting, going from there, and then we'll dive into the rest of what we have. We got some posterior chain and then some accessories to kind of finish up today. When we're doing these drop sets, the way I set it up is I've got my 50% weight on the inside. So sometimes this is gonna look a little weird on how we have it set up. Like I got a 45, 10, 10, 25, 5. So 235 is our working set for those first set of 8s. When I rack it, I'll take the 5, the 25 off, and that'll leave me the 175 for what I need for that set of 6. So depending on what gyms you're at, like sometimes these are smaller metal plates, they stick out, they might look funny, but I always try to be as lazy as possible. So how can I make sure when I'm stripping this weight off, take off what I need to, put it back on, versus if I did 45, 45 and a 5, well now I gotta take 5 off, 45 on, I gotta put 2 10s on. I wanna try to make this as simple as possible for myself before we get going into these. So nice control down, set of 8, rack it, set of 6, we'll get a nice rest in between. The set of 8 today already felt spicy, and we've got 3 more sets to go. But the 8, again, it should be a weight and intensity you can use. So if you're looking at the relative intensity chart, again, on the higher end of what like an 8 should be like, but we started off very conserving and built up as we went. And then the set of 6, dropping it down to the 50%, like the weight is super light relative, and then it's just basically just staying in control and then owning each one of those reps, and really just, it blows up your quads. But 3 more sets of this will give you guys a couple more insights of it. I'm really enjoying these drop sets, especially on bench. Really liking it on bench. I feel like it's pushing me to the like almost failure point, but I haven't failed on any of my sets, any of my reps for the last 2 weeks and all. But like it's right there between like, all right, this was 2.5 more pounds or 1 or 2 more reps, like I'd definitely be failing. So definitely been enjoying it. I'm loving just the feeling of it. I've never been much into like bodybuilding training or physique stuff. So like everything for me has always been kind of more like sports performance, like playing hockey growing up. It was like, how do I get better at hockey? What do I do in the gym to try to get better at hockey? So kind of throwing in these different bodybuilding protocols, it's definitely fun. And if nothing else, you just kind of learn what works, what doesn't work. How does my body respond to it? Like where can I kind of tweak it to make sure that it fits into the system of training that you provide yourself, you provide your athletes or clients. So always be willing to play around with stuff. I'm gonna got 3 more minutes resting here, and then we'll go into set number 2.
So you guys saw for set 3, I threw a weightlifting belt on. I picked up a couple of these over Black Friday. Just for some people I train. I got a couple in my size too. This one, a little bit thinner of one for weightlifting. I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I definitely feel stronger in the bottom of the hole, but for almost the last like 7 months, I've been using the breath belt here. I use it for warm-ups. I use it for my movement prep. You guys have probably seen a bunch of it. It adds some stability, but what I like about it is that it's soft and stretchy. So it really forces you to use your diaphragm, really create pressure and keep a rigid structure through your whole abdomen. So that way you can control the weight as we go through. I mean, the belt does the same thing, but it doesn't like give with you, right? Like if I give up a little bit, the belt might kind of help me out. With this, if I kind of unbrace, this is going to kind of squeeze in and not give me the same support as it was. So really, like, I think I like the breath belt better than a regular weightlifting belt. Also, it's still new. It's not broken in. It's like tight on the sides. So maybe it's just something I gotta throw around, get more used to, train with it a little bit more. So we'll see how much more I bring it in, different training blocks and different phases and all that. But the breath belt, I can hands down say, between my breath work I do in the beginning of my lifts during my movement prep has really changed the way I think about diaphragm breathing, bracing, keeping a neutral pelvis. It's well worth the money I spent on it. I think I have 2 or 3 of them. I've got one here, one at school. I think I got maybe 2 at school. I absolutely swear and love by them. But one more set of this. Honestly, feeling good. Like, I'm definitely 6, 7, 8 on the squats. You can feel it. And then that set of 6, it's more so just like taxing instead of like feeling like I'm gonna get crushed. Like, I know I could probably do 12 at that 50% instead of the 6 and all that. So one more set, we'll finish up with the couple accessories we got today. Hopefully you guys are liking these coming back, this like Christmas vlog that I'll be posting up. Hopefully you can get one out every day just to throw some content up. I really do enjoy making these. I will say, looking at the clock right now, my workouts take way longer just because of these little sidebars I have with you, and then I go down rants and rabbit holes and sometimes don't know when to shut up. But I'm gonna stop it here, give myself another 2 minutes, put the weights back on, and we'll hit this last set of squats. So that's 4 sets of the squats. 4th set wasn't as bad as I thought. I have to look back at the video. I don't know if my depth was as consistent on that last one. And again, I don't know if the belt kind of feeling a little more of impingement in my hips, but I'm not trying to give excuses. Like, if the depth's not there, I got to get down and get the depth. It's pretty simple. So we're going to move on. We got hamstring curls next. It was supposed to be single leg hamstring curls on a prone hamstring curl. I don't have that, so we're going to use a Sornex roller for some hamstring curls. We're going to hit some back extensions. Then we're going to see kind of how we're feeling after that. I haven't really sprinted in the last 3 weeks probably. I've done some assault bike for some conditioning. I might hop on the treadmill and get some tempo runs in. It's really just going to depend on how time I wrap all this up, because I got some stuff to do to kind of get prepared for Christmas in a couple days. But this is kind of the bulk of the workout. Like I said, we have to take one other thing out and then just replace the hamstring curls just for time and equipment's sake. So I'm going to B-roll just some strength training videos of that. I don't know why I said strength training videos. That's all we're doing is strength training videos. I'm noticing, since I haven't recorded or done videos in a while, I mess up a lot of words and say a lot of dumb things, and I think it's my brain is outworking my mouth. But we're going to do the exercises in C block, is what I meant to say. put those in a B-roll, some overlay, some music, and then we'll wrap up today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's training. I'll put some information in the description about this. If you guys want to know anything more about my training, make sure to check out my Instagram. I think it's at Devin_SNC coach or Devin_SNC coach. I'll put it in the description, but I try to be a little more detailed, a little bit thorough in some of my explanations and like layouts of workouts. And I'll actually also post my entire workout sheets on there so you can screenshot it, zoom in, and kind of see every set, every rep, how I warm up through it. So yeah, check that out. I try to put good stuff out, honest stuff of what I'm doing with myself, doing with my teams. Hopefully as I keep doing this, you can scroll back a year from now and kind of see where I pivot, make changes in my training because I learned something new. Maybe something I used to believe in, I don't anymore. So it's kind of cool just to document this whole journey, not only of my own training, but also of like my coaching journey too. So let's get in the C block.
You know the vibes out on this side, yeah, you know the vibes. Been in this thing winning rings for a while. Put it to the test, I could win it in a trial. Ain't no need to flex, cause I know you see the style. Yeah, I know you see the vibes. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I know you see the vibes. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I know you see the vibes. I can't have it any other way. Want the trophy, gotta take it out my face. Yeah, yeah. You ain't serious, then get up out the way. This is really what I do, so it's more than just a game. Yeah, yeah. Top 10, not 10. Running up the score to know I'm locked in. You ain't on the team, cause you not him. If you ain't us, then you not them. Yeah, you know the vibes. Been in this thing winning rings for a while. Put it to the test, I could win it in a trial. Ain't no need to flex, cause I know you see the style. Yeah, I know you see the vibes. Yeah.
C block just got done. That's gonna be it for today's workout. I'm not gonna hit the tempo runs today after letting my legs kind of cool off, for lack of a better word. Quads are definitely sore already. And the combination of the Sornex rollers and the back extensions, basically taking your leg from like full lengthen, concentric back in to then being in like an isometric lengthened states, definitely an evil pairing to really attack that hamstring in like two ways unknowingly. I don't think I had that in my mind when I was thinking of these two exercises together, but definitely smoked the hamstring. So that's gonna be it for today. Tomorrow we'll come back. We'll get our day 2 training in, upper body day. I think tomorrow also is Christmas Eve. So we'll get that video out tomorrow. This one will go up today. Hopefully you guys enjoy this little mini Christmas vlogging attempt I'm gonna do of trying to film every day of my training. It's only 4 days a week of training, so it should be easy to get through. I don't have to go into work, I'm kind of just staying at home. But give you guys just an insight of, you saw a little bit of like the first half of the fall GPP, which was a huge success. Definitely, like I said earlier, check out my Instagram. The whole program's up on there so you can look at it. And this hypertrophy phase is definitely, it's fun so far. I haven't hurt myself, so knock on wood, that's always a good thing. But definitely enjoying kind of going down a different rabbit hole for a little bit, trying to get bigger. So hopefully then from there we can get more stronger. Also during this time, I know the holidays, cookies are abundance, food is abundance. Like I know I'm eating more, so why not kind of mimic my training to something where I'm gonna need the more calories and the more nutrients. So that's kind of how I program this out of like this like hypertrophy phase during this time of year. But enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe. You guys have any questions on the training, feel free to reach out. Let me know and I'll give you any answers I have.